I'm going to be talking about Instagram SEO, Instagram search engine optimization. How do you get found on Instagram? That's what I am talking about. And let me start with a secret. And this is a secret that they don't want you to know. Hashtags don't work. Actually, I think the Instagram CEO has talked about that. I've made an episode about that. I've gotten like 5 or 10 million views making videos about that on Instagram and TikTok. Hashtags, they mostly get pushed out to spam accounts it's what it is they get pushed out to followers of the hashtag. And a lot of the times these are spam accounts. And so using hashtags gets you followers from either bots or people who don't really engage. And in the long run, this hurts your account. This was revealed in this massive thread on the Instagram marketing subreddit that hashtags actually hurt your account. And when I saw this, I immediately stopped using hashtags. And this was for my first year on Instagram, I was posting using a third-party application. And if you post using a third-party application on Instagram, then your posts, they get suppressed in reach. So basically anything that uses a shared IP address like a VPN or a third-party posting application, those posts, if you post under a VPN, if you post lots of VPNs, not all, but lots of VPNs, and if you post with a third-party application, very, very, very high chance your posts will be suppressed in reach. This happened for me and this happened for all of my friends. So then we all started posting manually through the Instagram mobile app. And that we were getting immediately, way, way, way more reach. 10x, 100x, 1,000 times more reach, sometimes 10,000 when we would go viral, just so much more. And actually, I think I'm at 126,000 followers on Instagram right now. If for that first year, it was around like 10 months. For those first 10 months, I wasn't using a third-party automation tool to post my videos because it was my videos coming out from TikTok to Instagram with no watermark, by the way. It was just the third-party tool. If I hadn't been using that, I would probably be at 500,000 followers, maybe even 1 million followers on Instagram. I just didn't know that. But anyway, so after I figured this out, post manually, and I was posting manually for around, I think 6 months or something, and I had gone viral a bunch of times, I saw this post about hashtags and I stopped using hashtags and there was no difference in performance. My videos went just as viral and I'm growing pretty fast right now. Just posting one time a day with videos that don't take me very long to make, I'm growing by several thousand followers each week. So, do you need to use hashtags to get found on Instagram? No, you do not. But this is what you should do. And it's actually really simple. If you are making videos where you speak in the videos, here is what you do. You take your video audio without music, you have it transcribed, and you use that transcript as your description. And you don't use hashtags. And if there is a specific keyword that you want to target, you put that keyword at the beginning of the description on Instagram. And hopefully your video is related to that keyword. And so you're going to have all this relevant language in your script because you're talking about this topic, which is related to that keyword. And so then you have all this relevant language in your description because it came from your script. It came from your transcript. So now you have your keyword at the beginning of the description, right at the beginning of the first sentence of the description. And you have your keyword there. And then you have this whole long description, which is really just your transcript ripped from your video used as your description. Now, what I do is I read through the transcript and I edit it to make it more usable for a description. So for example, if in the video I'm saying, look at this is crazy, I'll actually write it in the description what is crazy. So and that doesn't really take much time. It's just a few tweaks here and there when editing the transcript for the description. But it's so simple. Don't use hashtags. You don't need them. And put your keyword at the beginning of your description. And if you want to use more relevant keywords, ones that have high semantic relevancy, then you can put those into the description as well if you want to just insert them into your script. But you don't have to custom write a long description yourself because you can just take it from whatever you're saying in your video. Now, what if you're not doing a video or you don't really have speaking in your video? Here is what you do. You write it. It's really easy. Still, you take your whatever keyword you're interested in And you can, by the way, you can target the same keyword tons of times with multiple videos, but you take your keyword, you put it at the beginning of your description, and then you write about that keyword. If it's like a guide, if it's a how-to, you would just write that. And it doesn't even have to be a lot of words. The Instagram description length is actually pretty short. It's 2,200 characters. And I can't tell you, that's the Instagram caption limit. I can't tell you how many times I've had descriptions, maybe for videos that were 2.5 minutes, and I posted the transcript from that 2.5 minute video, and it was more than 2,200 characters, and then I had to edit it down. So it's really easy to write a description, and you write different descriptions for each post, even if you're targeting the same keyword. And then what it comes down to is engagement. If your piece of content is engaging, then there's a very high chance that that's what people are going to see when they search the keyword. And even if it's not engaging, if your keyword is niche enough, there's still a very high likelihood people are going to see your content for the keyword if it is niche enough. So let's come at this from the point of the Instagram algorithm. What does the Instagram algorithm actually want to see? It wants to see shares, it wants to see saves, it wants to see comments. So you make a video with a strong hook. Negative hooks always do better. If you say this is going to be great, instead of saying that, say this is going to suck. And you can still spin the video and make it positive, but this is going to suck typically performs way better than this is going to be great. If it's a long video, spread hooks throughout it. And then if it's just an image post, try to make it really good, of course. And try to make it something that people are going to share because it's interesting or cool or useful. Something that people are going to share and something that people are going to comment on. But shares, the Instagram algorithm really loves when people share. It also helps if your profile is relevant to the content. If you are posting, it's the same in SEO, in normal search engine optimization, actually. If you are a crypto site, this is too dramatic of an example. I want to do something. Okay, if you're a hardware site, if you are a website about hardware, and then you post a killer article about your microbiome, about how to improve the bacteria in your gut, but you're a hardware site, and then you post this article about how to improve the bacteria in your gut. Unless that article goes wildly viral, there's a high likelihood it will never rank for anything. And so you want to have an Instagram profile that is related to what you are talking about. In my case, I talk about digital marketing, and everything that I share is about digital marketing. I'm not sharing stuff about health. I'm not sharing stuff about the best altcoins to buy or the best meme coins to buy. Sharing stuff about digital marketing. And so it's important to have a bio that's relevant to your topic and for the rest of the content on their profile to be relevant. If you want to go after a different niche, probably better to create a new account for that niche or pivot your existing account to that niche. And you can do that, but it requires consistently posting in that new niche. But it's generally a best practice to have one account per niche. Now, it's possible that I will change my niche in the future. Maybe instead of just having a digital marketing account, in a couple years, I'll just make my account about myself, about Edward Sturm. And that would be more relevant because my account is Edward Sturm. People know me as Edward Sturm. And maybe I'll just share things that I'm interested in, but at that point, people are interested in me. So it's not really like I am going after a new niche. It's more that just my top of mind awareness increases and my recognizability increases, so then I can go after these things. But if you have, for example, if you have a faceless hardware account, and then all of a sudden you're making videos or image posts about your microbiome and trying to rank for keywords on Instagram about your microbiome, it's going to be very difficult. What content should you post? Should you post reels or images? Typically, reels are best. They're the best for growth. It's like a hack. It's a crazy hack for growth. Posts work too. Image posts work too, especially if they have writing. If there's writing in the image post, that works as well. I've actually seen a lot of people adapting viral posts on Twitter, on X, and then and I'm sure you've seen this too, and using these screenshots of the X posts on Instagram. And those work really well. But then what you do is, instead of just doing a one-sentence caption, you take all the writing that you are sharing, you take that and you put it in the description. Because now these posts with the writing in the images, it's also in the caption. So it's searchable. And by the way, Instagram videos often appear on Google as well. And if you want to increase your engagement, it's a good practice. Generally, just try to reply to commenters. Try to actually build a community. Even if you're a faceless account, good practice to reply to commenters. I'm quickly going to share how I make videos really fast because I've gotten super efficient at it. I recently posted Descript on my computer. It was a few days ago, and I'm on to day 775, posting Reels and TikToks every day in a row, 775 days. And I posted a screenshot of my editing software, Descript. And I've talked about this a lot before, but before I was using Descript, I was making all my videos in the TikTok app. And if you want to make a video in 5 seconds, okay, that's an exaggeration. If you want to make a video in a minute, do it in the TikTok app. I have made viral videos in 1 minute in the TikTok app. I am not exaggerating. It's so intuitive. It's so easy. And they give you captions right there. And that's it. And so you can actually just make a video really fast. You don't need any special editing software. You can take the audio. I think you can copy the captions that TikTok generates, and then you can use that as a description. And if you can't copy it from TikTok, then you can also take your video, download it without the watermark. If you even just Google download TikTok video without the watermark, and then there's free transcription software, and you can just have your audio from the video transcribed. You make the edits, and then you repost manually without the TikTok watermark onto Instagram. Now, what I do is I make my video in this app called Descript. So I will just speak for a couple of minutes, either with a script or without a script, and then Descript removes the gaps between words automatically. So it just flows. It's snappy cuts. It removes retakes with one click. It's just a remove retake option. I can green screen myself. I can have automatic eye contact if I'm reading from a script. I did that yesterday. The images and the videos that I put into my video, they snap to the cuts that are automatically made with Descript when it's removing gaps between words. It's so easy to make content like this. And so I'll make that video. Oh, and you edit in the transcript instead of the timeline. So it's like editing in a Word document. And then you just take that transcript, is what I do. I take my transcript, I copy it, and then I use it for the description. I just copy it directly from Descript. I find a keyword, put that keyword at the beginning of the description, take the rest of the transcript, use that as a description, and that is what I do. It's really easy to make content now. You make content really, really fast. You make videos really, really, really fast. Even if you want to do a faceless account, it's just so easy to post at least once a day on social media. I have a guide, my exact social media posting strategy. I'll link to it in the description for this episode. It's just everything that I do, how I post on every platform. But it's really easy to post every day to grow an audience and to rank on Instagram, to do Instagram SEO. So that is my Instagram SEO guide. That is how you get discovered on Instagram using search. And this is episode 528 of my daily digital marketing podcast. Fun fact, the idea for this episode came from the YouTube Inspiration tab, the new YouTube Inspiration tab, which I talked about on yesterday's episode, because I wasn't feeling the idea that I was going to do today. I wasn't feeling it. And I'm like, okay, what am I going to do today? So I started brainstorming with this new YouTube Inspiration tab. And then I saw, Instagram SEO. That's something that a lot of people are interested in. And literally the YouTube Inspiration tab told me that. And it gave me an outline and it gave me things to riff off of. And that's what I did. This was great. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, thank you so much for listening. 528 days in a row doing this podcast. I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye now.